Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen again today. I'd like to take the next few minutes and just kind of recap some things we talked about last time we were together. As you may know, I am taking these excerpts from Baudine's book, Two Chairs, my book, The 30-Second Prayer That Changes Everything. They go together great. They fit together great. And we can learn from both of the concepts that God has shown, or the two sides of the concepts that God has shown us. They're not exactly sides. They complement each other. They go together beautifully. So we talked about the three questions, and I asked you to close your eyes. But if you're driving, don't close your eyes. But the three questions that Bob said that we are to ask ourselves to kind of settle us down when we get kind of wrought up about things, when a situation arises and we aren't sure what to do. Those three questions, let me reiterate them. If you're in a position where you can close your eyes, please do. Does God know your situation? How would you answer that? The second one, is your situation too hard for Him to handle? And three, does He have a good plan for you? And those three questions just settle it for us. Okay, God knows. He knows exactly what to do. As I bring my situation to Him, He'll settle me down. He'll show me what to do or what not to do. He'll give me instructions. And then on page 16, Bob was talking about, and I read from page 16 last time we were together, but as soon as we commit our time to God, as soon as we go to the two chairs, as soon as we pray the 30-second prayer, Father, I commit this situation to you. Cause me to think the way you think, so I know what to do. Our hearts are just settled down. And pretty soon, we just know that God is gonna, and from experience, if we do that every day, we will just know there's a place of peace in God where He can cause us to just go up and over those circumstances, to deal with what we need to deal with effectively, simply, and get to the other side of it, which of course causes us to have successful days, and so that we can give the glory back to Him. That's what we want to do. So we gain clarity and perspective when things are peaceful and in order. And I talked about living above the fray. If I were going to name the 30-second prayer another name, I would say how to live above the fray. Because we have a lot of fray these days. We have the media talking to us. We have all the news outlets talking to us. We have people's opinions talking to us. And we can go up above the fray and say, God, what do you think about this? What's your opinion on this? And that will always bring us peace, and He will always reassure us that no matter what's going on, no matter how uncertain times are, He's right there to walk us through it. So we can live above the fray, and we have access to the mind of Christ. And we can get the mind of Christ through praying that little 30-second prayer. I'll put it in the description below. We all have questions, but guess what? God has every one of our answers. What would you like to ask God right now? Let's just stop a minute. Let's do a little exercise. If you had one question to ask God, what would it be? I'm giving you time to think. What question would you ask God if He was sitting across the table from you. You could write that question down and then pray the 30-second prayer. Say, Father, here's my question, and be sure to say it out loud, because that'll make it more real to you. And ask God the question. Write it down, because you're expecting an answer. You want to write the answer down too. But then say it out loud and ask the question. Because 1 John 5:14 and 15, and for the sake of time, I'm just going to quote it to you. Oh, all of a sudden, okay, let me think. I better read it. This is the confidence that we have, that if we ask anything according to His will, He hears us. And because He hears us, we know, we are confident that we have the thing we've asked for. And that's a paraphrase. That's the way it goes. And so we can have that confidence. Not only did He hear us, but He will answer us. We're good at praying a prayer maybe, but then we're not always good at receiving His input about what we're praying about. So let me remind you of something I've said to you many times. God's not keeping it from us. He's keeping it for us. But He wants us to be intentional about taking time with Him. That's why Bob says, set up 2 chairs. Be intentional. That's why I say, have a meeting with God at the beginning of your day. Pray the 30-second prayer. Father, I commit this day to you. I commit all of my plans for today to you. Cause me to think the way you think, so I know what to do. Because God is all about relationship. If you start in Genesis all the way to Revelation, He just wants His children around Him so He can protect them and love them. And if they are messed up and they can't figure out what's going on, He can say, here's what's going on. He's all about relationship. And it's then that we can be established and succeed, when we understand what's going on and follow His instructions. So in my book on page 72, it says, we have already established that God has a good plan for us, and He delights when we succeed. Likewise, we discussed how any well-meaning parent feels the same towards their children. Who wouldn't help guide their child through a difficult time? God is the epitome of a loving parent, and we can call on Him for His wisdom at any time about anything. And you know, sometimes we're kind of embarrassed or ashamed to talk to other people about what's bothering us, but we never have to be afraid to talk to God about it, because He is a good listener and He loves to give us His input. Psalms 37:5 says, commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust Him and He will help you. That's not too difficult to understand. It's just up to us to trust Him. So my book explains how to develop that partnership with God on a daily basis. And also how to take the 30-second prayer. It's not the only prayer you pray, but it's the one you carry with you throughout the day. Maybe you pray it in the grocery store. Maybe you pray it in your business meeting. Maybe you pray it when you have questions about what's going on in the day. But my book is going to explain to you how to develop that lifestyle, as Bob's does too. How to develop that lifestyle. And in the back of my book is a 10-day jumpstart devotional where you list your plans for the day. Then the 30-second prayer is there. You commit them to God. And then you write down how it turned out. And then there's a gratitude prayer at the end. Thank you. Mostly my prayer is thank you for this amazing day. I think God likes to hear that. So anyway, join me on my website. I'll put the link in the description below. Subscribe and be sure to share it with a friend because everybody has questions about what's going on. Share it with a friend. Let's do our life together with God. It's the only way. Join me on Facebook, on Instagram, and Bob also. And I'll put the link for our books in the description below. So God bless your day, and it was fun to be with you. I always look forward to this time with you. God bless you. Bye-bye.